So we are now jumping in to this story. It is about millennials. So, it's also about Gen Z. Just to be fair here. So, I don't know if you heard about this story, but 73% of millennials are living paycheck to paycheck.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Why doesn't that surprise you? There's a lot of factors that are happening.
Yeah,
right now.
I was like,
there's a lot of factors happening right now.
Things are expensive, man.
Inflation,
rising
housing costs, short supply.
Stagnant incomes.
Yeah, there's a ton. There's honestly a ton. So it's kind of crazy because honestly, a lot of millennials are also now picking up side jobs to supplement just the growing cost of things overall. So that's just millennials, by the way. I just want to emphasize that. Overall, how much Americans do you think are living paycheck to paycheck?
40% maybe.
The number will shock you.
Is it more than 40%?
It is more than 40%.
Oh, okay.
It is 60% of Americans.
60%, the opposite.
60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 66% of Gen Z, by the way, is living paycheck to paycheck. More so, I wanted to talk about this story because I think it's a very big. When I read this, I was like, this is kind of a big, statistic that I read, and I was like, this is kind of crazy that. Yes, there's a lot of economic factors that are at play here. There was a rising cost. One of the most expensive things, and it's one of the things that the story noted, where that got so crazy high, was eggs. Remember?
Yeah.
Eggs got super expensive. Housing is still super expensive. And I do want to say that it is crazy that we have to, just in general, people have to pick up a second job to even supplement their income. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know your thoughts on this overall. I know we talked about a couple of, even on this podcast, we've talked about car repossessions and all of these things.
Yeah.
So I just want to know your thoughts on this.
I mean, you could do us a favor and like and subscribe to this channel if you want more content like this one. But I do think that there is potentially a social pressure as well to appear to be doing okay.
Yeah.
So as things just automatically get more expensive and the expectation is that you are doing okay. I mean, if you have a decent job, but there's a lot of bills that pile up if you try to maintain this image. So if you needed a new iPhone, that's going to be money.
Yeah.
So then you have a cell phone bill to do that. Then you have your car, which is going to be probably if you're buying probably 30 to 40,000.
I remember the statistic. It is on average, Americans are paying $500 for a used car, $700 for a new car
Per month?
Yes.
Okay.
That's insane already. That was from our previous video.
Yeah. And then if they're renting, that's another huge hit. Or if they have if they're underwater on their what is it? Your student loans. If you have student loans, those are another huge hit where student loans are almost like mortgages where it's supposed to be a forever debt.
I think it's at $1 trillion now, by the way.
$1 trillion of student loans?
Yeah, I think so.
I can believe it.
Yeah, so it is crazy. Some of these, that's crazy. Just some of these things that are happening.
Yeah, because I mean, the whole thing is that a lot of things are being also bought on credit. So if you buy things on credit, it's a never-ending cycle where you're paying to have the ability to buy nicer things, but by doing that, interest will eat you up.
So you know what though? I'm pulling here out of all our previous videos. I'm pulling all these little
strings.
Notes. Yeah, strings, because on average Americans have about $2,000 on credit card debt, which is a
Relatable.
lot. Yeah, which is a lot. So I was I was like, that's kind of
On,
crazy.
I mean, that's not that bad.
That on average though, like you think about it, and like the average salary in the U.S. is what, like 54K.
Yeah, like
So that's
40 something.
it's a good chunk of money, for just some of these individuals. But yeah, it's kind of crazy just to even think about this, because it's like, yes, you're right. A lot of things are buying at on credit card debt. Credit card debt.
Affirm.
Oh yeah,
You can
Affirm.
affirm stuff.
Yeah, you could affirm stuff. Credit card is at one of its highest levels in the last few years. And I remember we talked about this too. It was like we have more credit card debt, I think, now than we did in 2008 during the recession.
Yeah.
So it's like, just reading these statistics, I was like, this is kind of wild that this is happening.
I could see it because of the whole pandemic thing where people were this like spending a lot of money and things just got more expensive. People lost their jobs and people are losing their jobs and people are getting new jobs. I mean, like, there's a whole different changing landscape of like things in addition to inflation. And I don't think that people were expecting it, because we had to get stimulus checks to like help out. But then the stimulus checks ran out, and then now people are then putting those bills on credit cards and trying to make it by.
I think student loans are on pause till
Still?
August.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are. I watch his financial channel, and I think he mentioned that it's still on pause. But yeah, no, I wanted to just make sure that our listeners and our watchers are aware. There's it's if it's happening to you, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that this is happening to. A really shocking statistic of 60% of Americans, even higher for even higher for millennials. And as I mentioned before, what was it? It was that this, like, for credit cards, it was like, if you are between the ages of 18 to 27, you have a higher chance of
A default
on your credit cards. Yeah, so that was another video too. So it's a lot of you're right, it's a large changing landscape that's currently happening right now. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that.
About millennials and their debt.
The crippling debt. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's hard, especially because we even finding a job now is harder than it ever has been.
Yes, it's definitely just a difficult landscape in general, because if you're trying to look for a job, you're competing against everybody who lost a job. The people who are graduating from the younger generations are also looking for a job.
Yeah,
so I do feel worried worried for the next generation, because unless they already had an internship that has a job offer included, it's gonna be very difficult to find something potentially in their field, because everything's asking for a 5-year or some sort of
you need experience before you get the job. 5 years experience for this entry level job.
Yeah, which is, I mean,
it's rough. It is rough. It
does lead into the whole idea of the gig economy and just doing one-off stuff, or just doing not your actual career path, but things to get by while you're still looking.
It's so crazy because I have seen now more than ever videos and posts about supplement your income with these side hustles, 6 side hustles. So it's kind of crazy.
Having 6 jobs does not sound like a good time at all. It's just way too much.
Yeah.